Hi guys, Darren from Venom Fluid Art. Hopefully you've just watched The Joy of Pouring with Cy Frost. If you happen to miss it, I'll throw a link in the description so you can go back and watch it at your leisure. Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. We have a fun little lineup. We've got myself. Following me, we have Kristey from Kreations by Kristey. Then we have Shannon from Shanb Fluid Art. And following her, we have Tony from Hippy, Dippy, Painterman. Great lineup for today. So, don't forget, after this video, just follow the links and you'll be able to watch them all. Okay, so what I have planned for today is just to have a bit of fun. What I'm going to use is a homemade cradled round. So that's an MDF ring that I've routed out, glued it to some marine ply. So that will be our little substrate. I've got a little shot glass because I figured we'd do a flip cup bloom. Why not, hey? We'll see what happens. So, what I'm going to do is start throwing colours into the cup. What shall I use? Now, the colours that I'm using are part of the Shelly Art recipe, so they're mixed with Taubman's Door and Trim untinted house paint. That's mixed with Joe Sonia. The ratios vary depending on what paints, pigments, things like that you're putting into it. So you're better off to go by consistency rather than a ratio. So let's get started. We will put down whatever colour that goes in there first is the last one that comes out. So let's put some colour into it. So this one is a pink from Black Diamond. A very, very good friend of mine sent me a pack to have a bit of a play with. Thank you, girlfriend. What colour is that? Bashful Bubblegum, I think. This one's going to be hard because I don't know all their colours. We'll go with a purple, which is, I don't know because I can't read my writing. Really pretty colours though. Like, dude, check that out. Quite like it. Right, so we'll put some purple in. Go with blue. So I'm just layering these into my little plastic shot glass. Got a sky blue here that I've custom made up from a whole heap of different pigments. And that one colour shifts and does all sorts of crazy things. What else shall we go? We'll go some Hustle by this little piggy that I've tweaked. For giggles, I'm going to throw in some white cell activator, which is Amsterdam titanium white. just to see what happens. What else shall we put in? We'll go another blue. So, put that in. And I think I might go with yellow. Yeah. So this is a submarine by this little piggy that I've neoned up. Make it a little bit brighter and more in your face. And what else shall we put in? I think we might go quinacridone magenta that I've messed around with as well. So we've got one tube paint in there. The rest are pigments, being black diamond and this little piggy. Right, so I'm going to put that to one side. Get our pillow paint, which is British Paints Low Sheen. It's the one I always use because it just works and works really well. Just about perfect consistency, 9 times out of 10 out of the can. Nothing's added to it, it's just straight house paint. So because this has a bit of a deep side, I'm going to throw a bit more on than I usually would. That way it covers the side. Okie dokie, let's go, let's do this. See what happens. So I'm going to grab my little shot glass, line it up with the center, and boom. So we'll give that a little bit of time to drip down. Now if I'd used a little paper cup, I could have put a pinhole in it. It would have let the paint drop out a lot easier. Or I could have just drilled a little hole in it, put a piece of tape over it, put the colours in, peel the tape off. But I got lazy. Doesn't matter. Alright. So what we're going to do is lift this one up. Just blop, blop, blop. How cool does that look? Alright, so then I'm going to get some black cell activator, which is Amsterdam lamp black, and I've mixed some interference violet in with this one. Okay, maybe a little bit more. Alright. Now then, we'll get the mini blower. So I love this little thing. So, little orange mini blower. I've taken the side cover off to give it a bit more grunt. Alright, let's see if we can do this because the cable's in the way. Alright, we'll start with that. Grab my straw. Give it a bit of a blow. Like that. I'm going to grab a skewer and just put some crazy patterns through it. Chances are I'll lose a lot of this stuff anyway because there's a whole heap of paint on there. Okay. Grab our little torch. Pop any bubbles that are there. Alright, so this isn't quite level on the spinner, so things are running down the side. Doesn't matter because I want to wet the edge anyway, so I'm just going to use my finger. Some of that paint that's dripping over the sides, I'm just going to run it around the edge. That way, when I spin it out, the paint will flow over and down the sides rather than just flicking straight out to the side. Not that it really matters inside this container because it's not going to mess the whole room up. Because this is actually inside a big plastic tub. That way, you don't get any mess anywhere apart from inside the tub. Perfect for if you've got a small little place that you want to paint in, like your kitchen or dining room or wherever. That way you can still do it. The mess is all contained in your little box and you don't have a drama. Okie dokie. Now that that cell activator's sunk a fair bit, we'll give it a bit of a spin and see what crazy stuff we got out of that. So I'll lift that one up, move my little cup that I left on there last night in wet paint. Oops. Alright, so we're going to go for the center of your spinner. That looks pretty skookum. Give it a bit of a spin. Go back the other way. Now you don't go too fast, otherwise you start distorting everything. Now, I'm scraping all this stuff out the way. If I'd put some, like a silicone mat or something like that down, after you'd finished the piece, you could have lifted that off, let that dry, and you could have used that for skins, for jewellery and things like that. But, being on a little time limit here, we will just scrape it off. Right, so I'll just go around the edge, like that. Might give it another little spin the other way. So all that paint actually flowed over, went down the sides, and then spun out, which is what we wanted it to do. That way it covers all your edges beautifully. Alright, pop this one up. So as you can see, all the edges got covered really nice. And that there is our cool flip cup bloom. So there's no silicone added. It's just paint and cell activator, which is just Amsterdam paint. I think this one I mixed with Australian Floetrol because it's starting to get warmer here now. And I don't want it drying overly fast. The Floetrol actually slows the drying time down a little bit. So there we go. Flip cup bloom. Who would have thought? Alright, so we'll scrape all the bottom off on that. Otherwise, it'll drag all your design off the top and spoil your day. Like so. What I usually do is I leave that about 10-15 minutes. Make sure it's on a level surface. Any drips that have dripped down like within that time period, just scrape them off again. That way you know there's not going to be any problems with it. Alright, I think I'll press pause and do another quickie for you. Okie dokie. This time I've got a MDF heart. It's about 8 inches by 12 inches, half inch thick. I've already mixed my colours in there. And what I'm going to do is I don't know yet. I'm just going to pour them down. Let's see what cool stuff we can make with it. Why not, he says. I might actually just go with that. Move that across a little bit. What shall I do? What shall I do? Alright, grab some cell activator. Naturally, I've just run out. So I'll grab another one quickly. Okay. Alright. Grab my little mini blower. Alright, we'll start with that. Give that a bit of a blow in the cell activator. So realistically, there's a whole heap of different ways you can throw your colours down for doing blooms and swipes and all sorts of crazy things. So it really does pay to just have a bit of a play day. Grab a couple of little plastic shot glasses and throw some paint in it and pour it down and swipe over the top of them, bloom over the top of them. All up to your imagination. Get some really cool designs and patterns just by laying colours down totally different ways than you usually would. You know, things like that you can drag in and pick different colours that come through with it, wiggle it around, make all sorts of crazy patterns. Alright, so that's what it looks like before we spin her out. Put that there. I'll just scrape some of this off here. Okay. Go for the center of the spinner. Okay, just wipe my hands. So, make sure that's in the middle, which is roughly there somewhere. Just give it slow spins. Okay, pop that one up. How cool are the effects on that? Alright, put that down. Give it a scrape around the edge. Turned out quite pretty. Now, if you've got any leftover paint in your cup like that, you don't want to waste it, grab a coaster, like a tile or something like that. Just put this to one side. Yeah, so if you've got leftover paint, just grab a tile, hex tile, throw some pillow paint down. Actually, I'm going to mix all this up. So, scrape the cup, get it flowing. Just scrape in there. Whatever colour comes out, comes out. That way you're not wasting it. Like so. Grab some selector beta. Throw a bit down. Bit of black. Mini blower. So give her a spin. You get some cool stuff like that. So all your leftovers you can just use making coasters and things like that. Alright. That's it for today, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Up next we've got Kristey from Kreations by Kristey. Following her we have Shanb from Shanb Fluid Art. And then Tony, the Hippy Dippy Painter Man. So, if you click on the link in the live chat, it'll take you directly to Kristey. Or in the title of this video, click on that, it'll take you directly to her page. She'll add links for all the others as well. If you missed the links, they should be in the description. Alright guys, have fun, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.